In the heart of Los Angeles, surrounded by gang politics, street codes, and survival instincts, a story surfaced that shocked the whole nation. A story about a kid who didn't look like he belonged, but somehow ended up right in the middle of South LA's gang culture. This is the story of Cameron Terrell, the privileged teenager who found himself connected to one of the most feared gangs in America, the Rollin '90s neighborhood Crips. Cameron wasn't born into the struggle. He wasn't from the trenches. He came from Palos Verdes, one of the wealthiest, safest communities in California. Gated homes, luxury cars, perfect lawns. The type of place where kids worry about SAT scores, not gunshots. But Cameron had a fascination with the streets, the culture, the lifestyle, the identity. And slowly, that curiosity pulled him into a world far outside his own. Somehow, some way, Cameron ended up building friendships in South Los Angeles. Friends who were connected, deeply, to the rolling '90s neighborhood Crips. And instead of being out of place, Cameron embraced it. He hung around the neighborhood. He learned the slang, the mannerisms, the politics. He started dressing like the homies, talking like them, wanting to be one of them. At just 18 years old, he became known as White Boy, a suburban kid moving with one of LA's most active sets. On October 1st, 2017, everything changed. According to prosecutors, Cameron wasn't just hanging around anymore. He was involved. Police say he drove 2 Crip members into a rival neighborhood, the territory of the Rolling 100s, an enemy set. The mission, retaliation. Camera footage and witness testimony placed Cameron's Mercedes-Benz in the area. The shooters hopped out, opened fire, and took the life of 21-year-old Justin Holmes, who wasn't even a gang member, just a young man walking with friends. When the shots stopped, the killers jumped back into the Benz, and Cameron drove them away. The case exploded in the media. A wealthy white teenager from a millionaire neighborhood, standing shoulder to shoulder with a Crip set, accused in a gang murder. People were shocked. How does a kid like that even get close enough to participate in something like this? What did he see in that lifestyle? Or was it the thrill, the belonging, the image? These were the questions everyone asked when Cameron was arrested and charged with murder and attempted murder. But the real twist was still coming.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A jury has reached a decision in the murder case against a former Rancho Palos Verdes high school student.
The case made headlines when the teen admitted he was the getaway driver and got out on bail.
CBS News' Juan Fernandez is live in our newsroom at this hour with the jury's verdict. Juan?
Well, Jeff Crystal, the jury found Cameron Terrell not guilty of all counts in last year's deadly shooting in South Los Angeles. It is a blow to the prosecution, who said despite his affluent background, Terrell ran around with known gang members. Jurors also found Terrell not guilty of 2 counts of attempted murder of 2 other men who were not injured in the shooting that killed 21-year-old Justin Holmes. He was gunned down last October by 2 juvenile suspects that drove away in a black Mercedes. A detective testified Terrell admitted he was the driver. The defense said his client didn't know anyone was going to get shot. He argued Terrell's instinct was to drive away when his friends ran back to the car. During the trial, prosecutors showed video they say Terrell took of his friends kicking candles at the victim's memorial. Today, Terrell had this to say.
I'll say rest in peace, Justin Holmes. He shouldn't have died that day, and, I pray for his family every night. This been weighing on me every single day of my life. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. God knows what really happened that day, and God knows what was in my head that day.
The case made headlines when Terrell's wealthy family posted $5 million bail and he returned to classes at his high school. Terrell now says he plans to attend the University of Houston and go to law school.
Cameron's trial became one of the most talked about cases of the year. The prosecution said he was fully aware of the gang mission, that he played a key role as the getaway driver, that he chose the street life over his privileged upbringing. But the defense painted a different picture, a naive kid who didn't know what the other boys planned that day, someone who was just giving a ride without understanding the outcome. After weeks of testimony, Cameron Terrell was found not guilty. He walked out of court a free man. The two alleged shooters, both minors, still face trial. When Cameron was released, he didn't go back to how life was before. Social media clips showed him back in the neighborhood, flashing gang signs, hanging with the homies, behavior that shocked the public even more, especially considering a young man had lost his life. Meanwhile, the victim's family was left with pain, confusion, and no justice. A mother who would never see her son again. A family who felt the system failed them. Cameron tried returning to school, but backlash forced him to withdraw. Everywhere he turned, the eyes of the world followed. Some said he was a kid, obsessed with street culture. Others believe he manipulated the system, walking away from a situation that would have locked up anyone else for life. The story of Cameron Terrell sparked conversations nationwide about race, privilege, gang culture, and identity, about kids chasing an image they don't understand, and the consequences that follow. Whether people see him as a misguided teenager, a cultural tourist, or something far darker. One thing is certain. Cameron Terrell became one of the most controversial names tied to LA gang history in the last decade. This has been another Street Stories episode, where we dive into the unbelievable, the unexpected, and the untold stories from the shadows of the streets. Presented by Street Legendz.